Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a lovely Shabbat morning. This is the day that the Most High has made, and I am going to rejoice and be glad in this day. And of course, as you all know, as I'm out here, I'm very observant of nature as well. Looking at a beautiful bird, little bird up here who's caught something that no doubt he's going to eat or share he or she is going to eat or share with her babies. We do have a little birdhouse there. So if I'm observant of nature, please be patient with me. It is a good thing to be alive, especially when you know the Most High. It is a wonderful thing to be alive and to be able to come before you another day to say what is on my mind concerning the condition of the world. The world is definitely trying to use secular solutions for very spiritual problems. The world is plagued with so many problems that in every direction you turn, there are problems, and I'm talking major problems. I'm not just talking about little small things here and there that you can solve with the snapping of your fingers or the flipping of a switch, but problems that are mounting, meaning as time goes on, these problems are going to go from bad to worse, you see. But the world is trying to use secular solutions for these problems. The problems we see in the world today, y'all continue to hear me and many others say that these things were prophesied. They are supposed to happen, and that there is no stopping them, right? When there is something that has been prophesied, there is no amount of human intervention that can stop biblical prophecy. I don't care what it is, how big or how small. You see, man could come up with this solution or that solution, or so they think, but it will definitely be short-lived, right? They're trying to come up with solutions for everything imaginable. As a matter of fact, many of the problems that you see in the world are a direct result of man's intervention or man's interruption of what is natural, right? And so now you have man trying to fix what man has broken, right? For those of you who don't understand how it can be said that this is being fulfilled through biblical prophecy, the Most High will use man to carry out prophecy. See, we are expecting the arm of the Most High to directly come down and do this or do that. He will allow the wicked inventions of man to carry out the judgments that were spoken a long time ago. See, because he knows our thoughts are far off. Whenever there is a problem that has been created because of man's wickedness, you have to understand that that problem is still directly connected to the biblical prophecy that said the problem was going to come about anyway. And so, there's a really big beetle right there. The kind that my sons like to catch is really big. So I'm going to let him just mosey on in the path as I continue. Like I said, I'm very observant to nature. Very observant to nature. And I like to be very respectful of nature as well. Of course, if there's a bee coming for you, a wasp or something, you have to take it out, right? But for the most part, anything that is outside that is not a direct threat to me, I like to just leave it be, if you know what I mean. Anyway, when I look at the mindset of people in this world, everyone thinks, or they run to those who created many of the problems in the world, as if to say, help me or help us, do something, right? When I see this stuff happening, my mind always goes back to the fact that a lot of the turmoil and chaos and destruction that we see in the land, in the world, came as a direct result of what the people that you're running to have done. And so this is why the Most High tells us that we must come to him, right? that we must lean and depend on him. And so what you have today, you do have a lot of religious people who claim to believe in the Most High. But that's all I can say is they believe in him, but they don't believe him. In other words, they believe he exists, but they don't trust him enough to put their lives in his hands. Not realizing it, your life is already in his hands. Your life is already in the Most High's hands. So it has nothing to do with you putting it there. You know what I'm saying? It is already in his hands. And the Most High deals with us according to our faith. So if your faith is not in him to resolve a certain situation that you are facing, and your faith is in a corrupt system, the Most High is going to basically turn his back on you and say, I tell you what, why don't you go over there to the one that you put your trust in and see if they can solve your problems. Kind of reminds me of the scripture where the Most High literally said, go deal with your false gods. You wanted to follow them, so in your time of need, don't come to me. Go to your false gods. See if they can help you. And I'm paraphrasing the passage. In other words, it's like the Most High has a sense of humor, but yet he's very serious at the same time. He's like, okay, if you got these false gods and that's who you're worshiping, that's who you're serving, and you're trying to worship me too, you're trying to worship both, he said, you can't do that. That's unacceptable to me. And because it is unacceptable to me, in your time of trouble, go to your false gods, okay? Because I am turning my back on you. And so we need to understand that if you say that you believe in the Most High, also believe him when he says to you that he can do A, B, C. Listen, y'all, I want to share a testimony that I saw recently. A very powerful testimony. The Most High is, he's amazing. He's good, right? There was a woman, this was on the news, okay? There was a woman whose 15-year-old son was in a major car accident. He was pronounced dead. They got him to the hospital still, and they were working on him, and the doctor, again, pronounced him dead. Okay, they said he's gone. And that mother would not accept that. Listen, y'all. She would not accept that. She prayed over her baby's body. She prayed. She prayed. I'm not ready for this, Father. I'm not ready for this. This woman prayed. So she didn't just believe in the Most High. She believed the Most High. And therefore she called on the Most High to get her son up from there, because I'm not ready for this. Listen, y'all. Most High brought that boy back. Brought that young man back. I've seen things like that happen to where the Most High did something so miraculous to where you can't deny that he exists. You can't deny that he exists. There are those who will see these things and they still want to put their trust in a broken system or in people who do not even revere the Most High. You see, let me tell y'all something. As we live and as we go about our day, from day to day, we've got to make up our minds. Is the Most High going to be our solution, or is the world going to be our solution? Are we going to go after or look for a secular solution to something that's very spiritual? A lot of things that are happening in the world are very, very spiritual, right? These are things that were prophesied, and there are battles taking place in the spirit realm that are actually bringing all of this about. There are councils in heaven, meetings going on in the heavens, talking about mankind. Now, we've shared that before on our other ministry channel, where there are spirits that are in heaven that will volunteer to come down to earth in a certain situation and influence that situation in the direction that the Most High wants it to go in. Remember when we told you about the spirit that says, I will go down and be a lying spirit in the mouth. I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of this person to deceive this other person. So this stuff is so deep, family. When you think about what is happening, we only deal with what we can see for the most part, right? But there are those who like to look above and beyond what we can see and look into the spirit realm through the grace of the Most High Yah, through the spirit of the Most High Yah, the Ruach HaKodesh. If we could open up our spiritual eyes and really see what is going on, we would not be seeking secular solutions for very spiritual problems. These secular solutions are temporary, okay? They are temporary. Man might be able to figure out or conjure up something to give you that temporary solution for this problem, but that's about it. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping hole. Imagine someone has a gaping hole in their leg. When I say gaping, ripped wide open. And you put one of the Band-Aids that's meant to go on your fingertip on this gaping hole. That's what man's secular solutions are like as it relates to very spiritual problems. These spiritual problems can only be dealt with spiritually. But see, the carnal mind cannot comprehend the things of Yah. It cannot comprehend spiritual things. The carnal mind is just that, carnal. When you speak of spiritual solutions, the carnal mind can't comprehend it. Therefore, it downplays it. It makes a mockery of it. What I find very interesting with mankind, with people, is that there is always this acknowledgement of evil spirits, right? Evil that's present in people. There's always this acknowledgement of dark powers, witches and sorcerers and things of that nature, right? There's always this acknowledgement of what these dark powers are able to do. But the minute you tell them that there is a flip side to this, that the Most High himself also has power that is ruling throughout the earth, right? That is moving throughout the earth through his people, right? Through those that are servants of him, those who hear his voice, and even through the angels that are dispatched to certain situations. When you try to bring that part out, all of a sudden you have people who want to talk about that's not real. I don't believe in that. But yet you believe in the dark powers that exist, the dark powers that we see happening on a daily basis. I'm very observant to nature. Very observant. Very observant to nature. It is in him we live. In him we move. And in him we have our being. So I want y'all to understand something. I'm very observant to nature. I want y'all to understand something about animals and creatures. I watched something the other day that was basically telling you that animals have such a connection. Of course, they didn't say to the Most High. The animals have such a connection to nature that when something catastrophic is about to happen, that the animals, they seek refuge well before the time. They run, they seek higher ground, they hide, they do things, right? Mankind and all of their secular wisdom is so very foolish that they think that they can come up with solutions that will trump the Most High solutions, right? These problems that exist in the world are a direct result of man interfering with what is natural, with what has already been put in place by the Most High. But it's amazing to me how animals know their place. Animals know their place, and they move within the reality of who they are. They definitely do. I talked about this cat before. My mom said that stray animals have always found their way to us because they can tell that we love animals, right? And so I think about this cat, how she chose me and I chose her. This is my baby right here. I love the Most High and His creation. I love the Most High and what He is doing in the earth. And I understand it. Although there are some things that are going to take place on this planet it's going to blow some people's minds, we have to trust the process of the Most High. We have to trust it, right? Although we may have fear of what's going to happen to our loved ones who will not open up their eyes. Although we may be sad for them and we may feel a heaviness in our hearts for them, we have got to keep our trust in the Most High. I trust the Most High. It's pointless to say I trust Him with my life because my life is in His hands already. But guess what? I do. You know, my life is in His hands. I've known that for a very long time. Therefore, I do not fear death because it is my belief that when it is my time, that the Most High is going to have His way. He's going to have His way. You see? But as it relates to those that are around us who are willfully sleeping, because there is so much that is happening that the very existence of chaos is just everywhere. It's everywhere. And anyone trying to deny it, they are being willfully blind. They don't want to see, right? And so, as I said in previous videos, that we cannot sit there in that place and worry about people. You have to shake the dust off. You have to shake it off and keep it moving. Of course, you can pray for those people and say, Father, I pray that they open up their eyes. But we have to keep our trust in the Most High where it belongs. Trusting that He knows what He is doing, right? The Most High knows what He is doing. As the world tries to scramble about to come up with solutions for this, come up with solutions for that, come up with solutions for this, they look very foolish because these are people who believe that they can stop biblical prophecy. They believe if their scientists come together and do this and do that, figure this out, fly them to this planet or fly them to that planet, or spray the air or do whatever. See, because one of the problems they believe is that the earth is overpopulated. But see, they ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to deal with all of that stuff. When I think of the foolishness of people and how they want to discount the power of the Most High in this land. They want to pretend like He don't exist, but yet they acknowledge evil every day. The Most High will definitely show up and show out when the time comes. What I find interesting is whenever the Most High sends any type of severe weather, I will always see people saying, harp this and harp that. There's only so much man and their inventions can do. The Most High, He told us in His word, He said that I sent the whirlwind. If there is a whirlwind or a tornado, the Most High said I sent it. But nobody wants to acknowledge that. When there's any type of severe weather pattern that is happening, that is out of the norm or out of the ordinary, or that doesn't seem normal, I'll see people all the time saying harp. Now, they may have created harp. Harp may be able to do some things. But the disasters and the destructions that we see that on a massive level, trust and believe that the Most High's hand is in that. He is directly linked to that. And so, while we are trying to give all the honor and the glory to man, as if man can do anything above and beyond what the Most High allows, as we're trying to do that, the Most High is saying, look, I'm going to have my way in the earth and in the heavens. When it comes time to shake this place, all we must do is pray that we are counted worthy to escape the things that are coming up on the earth. Now, of course, when I talk about problems and solutions. I want y'all to understand something, that it's not just about things that are on a large scale that's going to affect the whole world or affect the planet or weather or things of that nature. I'm also talking about some of the problems that exist within households. I'm telling y'all right now that many times when someone is going through something very mental, okay, let's take it there for a minute. Someone is going through something very mental. Many times you will take that person to a doctor and they will prescribe medicine. But usually what is happening is that person is not going through anything natural at all. There is a spiritual attack or a demonic attack on their mind. The spirit realm goes both ways, y'all, good and evil, right? And so we will go and try to get a natural or a secular solution to something very spiritual when a person is going through these episodes of acting like a lunatic or a maniac, or acting just out of the ordinary. They call some situations, they call them bipolar. They have all of these different medical terminologies for it. Paranoid, schizophrenic. They call all of these different manifestations of demons something medical. And so they come to you with a very secular solution, a pill, some type of elixir, some type of concoction that they've come up with. This will help calm this down, or this will help soothe this. Now, they never come to you with anything saying this will help wipe this out or heal this. It's only to manage what is happening with the person, right? This is because they don't realize it is a very spiritual thing that's happening with that person and their mind. That person has been attacked by spirits or demons. And because they didn't have the wherewithal to fight, the demons were able to overtake and overcome them, right? And so when you try to apply a secular solution to that, when the pills wear off, when the elixir wears off, the problem will still exist. As a matter of fact, they will say sometimes that if a person takes or comes off of their medication, that they will act worse. They will act worse than before they actually took the medication, because they've developed a dependency on the medication, and when it's not available, it will result in some type of explosive response. But when you try to apply a spiritual solution to that, it's going to be very permanent. I've seen situations, I remember decades ago when we lived in Detroit, I've seen spirits or demons being cast out of people. They would be behaving in a certain way. And we've also seen it, there are situations where some of these televangelists, not all of them, have faked things, right? There are situations where people have been exorcised. That's what they call it. They call it exorcism. This is where a demon is cast out. Some of you don't believe in this stuff, but it doesn't matter if you believe or not. It is what it is. Demons exist. Dark powers exist. Just like the powers of the Ruach HaKodesh or Holy Spirit exist as well. And so you want to make sure that when you are dealing with any situation, any problem, that you are not just going to try to apply a secular solution to every problem. Now, of course, some problems you can apply a secular solution to. If there's not enough food in a certain area, start a community garden, right? So that's very simple. A community garden will be the solution to that problem. But if something spiritual is happening, you can't try to put a secular Band-Aid on a spiritual problem. You have to go before the Most High. You have to humble down and go to where the real solution is. And that's what the world is failing to do. But I want to encourage you today that regardless of what is happening in your life, ask the Most High to reveal to you if there is a spiritual problem. Families are going through something very spiritual and they don't even realize it. You can't boil it down to, oh, my children are just bad, my husband is just mad, my wife is just no good. You can't boil it down to just that. It's a reason why people are acting out in the way that they are acting out. And if there is some type of demonic situation happening in your family, don't seek a secular solution for a spiritual problem. Take it to the Most High. You take it to Him, you're going to get a real solution, not a temporary solution. You're not going to apply a finger band-aid to a gaping wound. Okay? So anyway, I'm done with this video. I hope that I've said something to stir your thoughts in the right direction. Keeping your mind and your focus on the prize. Even though we see things happening and unfolding in the world around us. Okay? Keep in mind that we cannot fret over these things. He says He will keep us in perfect peace if our minds are stayed on Him, even as it relates to people that we see that are suffering, people that we know and love who are willfully blind. Those things may make you sad, but we have to keep it moving, y'all. We have to keep it moving. With that, I'm out.